Hey guys, we're having a look today at this knife made by Tindall. So this is, for all intents and purposes, like a one-off, a custom knife, a mid-tech at the very least. He has several patterns that he makes, but each one being a handmade piece of kit will be more or less unique. This one I won in a raffle. So he did a raffle where you could buy a ticket for $20. I think there's about 10 tickets, and I won. I was very lucky to win. He didn't know who I was. It was just sheer chance. So I got to this knife, which is in 01 steel and is very impressive. So this is like a companion knife. I'll run it up against some other knives. So we'll look at it next to, like, well, how about a Mora Companion? That's always a good start. Mora Companion's a little knife for similar purpose. A Cold Steel Master Hunter, which is a little bit bigger, but sort of a similar purpose again. Nice little hip belt knife, any job kind of knife. And then we'll look at next to a Falkenhaven F1, which is kind of my standard. And then we'll look at it next to a Falkenhaven A1, which just shows what a big survival knife looks like against it. And also kind of the differences in thickness between this, like a relatively humble task companion knife, and a big survival knife. Not to say this isn't a strong knife. So to test it, I obviously went and did some splitting. Now this won't even span like most logs because it is just a 3.5-inch little blade here. Very, on the smaller side, definitely a companion / carving / odd jobs knife more than like a big wood processing knife. But once I got the wood thin enough, I did some splitting on my nasty, hard, knotty red gum there. No problems whatsoever. Went through all the different bits of wood, absolutely fine. As you'll see on the video right now, I just had to prepare it with an axe first. So once my wood was prepared, I did a bit of shaving, a bit of carving, and just a bit of knife use and demonstration. This on top of other use of the knife I've had as well, just more stuff that I've shot for the purpose of this review. This review mainly is just to endorse this brand. This is a custom or a handmade knife company or handmade knife producer that is solid. And that, sorry about that. This is a handmade knife producer that is solid and reliable and makes good things. He does a little bit of extra care, like his 01 heat treat is on point. You can batten, you can split with this knife. You can see on his Instagram he splits pennies in half with the blade and the blade doesn't roll, when 3V and other sort of so-called superior steels will roll. Very good effort in his heat treat, and he's got it just about perfect for a smaller knife like this particularly. I think for his bigger stuff he does it a little bit softer, but for a small knife like this, it is great. It's held an edge really well. I've done the edge testing with this in my rope cut tests. It did a good sight more than 1095. Obviously not quite up there with 3V and edge retention, but you got to remember 01 is an ancient steel now. It's been around for a long time, more or less unchanged. The hammer spalted finish here, that's sort of just a remnant from the making process. I'm pretty sure these would be, I'm not sure if he's forging these or if he's just buying the ingot and then just spalting them, but either way it's a very nice little finish. This is a bit shiny here because I've polished it a couple of times with sandpaper because it's high carbon steel, and I have got a bit of a patina on it from time to time. I've had this knife for a couple of months now and I have used it, so it's every now and then I'll just maintain it a little bit and just polish back any sort of flecks of rust that have appeared on the surface, which does happen if you forget to clean your knives after every use. The scales are pinned on, they're carbon fibre and then red G10. And very comfortable indeed. Fits my sort of larger sized hands really well. There is a forward finger drawer, which some may not particularly enjoy in their outdoor knives. I could take or leave it. I can see in a hunting knife like this, you may want full, because this is called the Sawtooth Hunter. So in a hunting knife like this, with that as one of its primary purposes, you may want maximum control over the tip as you can. So having a, not a completely short blade like this, you might want to choke up and get in there, but also just for woodworking and things like that, it is nice to have that bit of extra control. However, I must note that if the control wasn't there, the blade would go almost to my thumb anyway with the current pattern. So not a big deal either way. The inch of blade, yeah, I could probably appreciate, but then I got this knife for $20 in a raffle, so I'm hardly going to judge on what is a design choice. And the best thing about it, if you got your own, you could just ask for no choil. Simple as that. So overall, what I'm commentating on here is the general construction and performance of Forrest Tindall's handmade knives, and they're excellent so far. They've put up to hard use testing. They've put up with a bit of sanding back, a bit of reprofiling, all that sort of stuff. It's sharpened well. His steel is well done, because that's the thing about the custom makers. You never know how good they're going to be at heat treating steel, and that is a big thing that's going to be unknown until you've already bought it and you've started using the knife. So that is something that I can wholeheartedly endorse here. All sorts of materials, edges held really well, and the toughness is not an issue whatsoever. Does good handles, does good sheaths. The sheath in this one is a Kydex sheath with a leather belt loop. He'll make you whatever sort of sheath that you particularly want. I think he has on his site pre-done knives, but then you can order a custom knife and you can have the say of pretty much whatever you want whatsoever. So all sorts of flexibilities and whatnot in your Tindall knives if you're after one. So if you're in the market for something like a Falcon Even F1, but you don't really want to buy a mass-produced knife, perhaps you don't quite like the look of it, there's a couple of things you'd like to change, whatever, I'd suggest checking out Forrest Tindall's site. He's like kind of how, it's a bit like an LT, right? They'll do every now and then some custom sprint runs of knives with various little odds and ends on them. All of his knives are kind of like that. So you can go on his site, you can pick out whatever he's made already, or you can talk to him and get something done up that you really think is going to speak to you and suit all of your needs. As for me, great little companion knife, really happy I've got it, and wholeheartedly endorse Forrest and his endeavour. So that is the Tindall Sawtooth, I think, Hunter. My example, carbon fibre and G10 handles and O1 steel. Full flat grind, well, apart from this second surface here, but largely a flat grind, clip point, hunting / little wood crafting blade. Thanks very much for watching, dudes, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.